right, we're in. Welcome to the Lunenburg Water District Commissioners meeting. Today is July 23rd, it's 4 p.m. Well past. I'm going to start by saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nope. We had some warrants floating around. Maybe they're all signed. Minutes are,
Mr. Chair, make a motion, we approve the minutes of July 9th, 2025.
So moved.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Review and vote to approve Mark Muller CPA yearly audit contract. Which,
I didn't really pass around, it's the same
Okay.
contract every year.
yeah,
He did go up $500. So we are at 16,000.
did it go up quite a bit last year? As I
Yes,
recall?
but I've had, it is what it is.
It's requirement.
It is,
By the state,
and from
we
what,
have to do it.
my understanding, looking around, looking at all this, this really isn't that much. There's not many small firms that will do this anymore. They're getting stricter.
He does spend a lot of time.
I mean,
Just letting you
I
guys
think
know,
he does
I
a
know
good
it's
job,
needed.
and I really kind of enjoy having him do it because it does shine to light a lot of different. It makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that he does it, he's getting done it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That he kind of knows the routine, so that if he sees something out of line, because
Yeah.
he's got his little formulas he does, and so he looks at a lot of stuff that other people I don't think would. So
Yeah.
I think he does a good job.
Mr. Chair, I'd authorize, motion to authorize the superintendent and chairman to sign the yearly audit contract with Mark Mueller CPA.
superintendent and chairman.
Superintendent and chairman, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We'll get management and governance.
I think that's you.
David
Yeah.
Preston for guidance.
Oh, sorry. I'm chairman.
Okay. Review public and gaming question regarding future treatment options. So we went over that quite a bit last meeting.
Is this the final?
So this, the draft that I put in front of you guys is, I took all of the stuff that we crossed out last time, any little suggestions, so the only thing that we didn't have, which we just got like an hour ago, was on the scenario breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't really change, so that we just got from Lou, from Time Bond. So I think it's, I mean, if you guys were comfortable with all the other stuff that we kinda cut out to make it shorter, I think that's good, so now it's just a matter of how you guys wanna move forward with.
So on some of the scenarios, I had a meeting with Mr. Emke
Mhm.
for a couple hours, and it was actually a really good meeting. I told him I enjoyed this. I said we should do this. You know, if he has more people that want to come in and sit down, we just talk about stuff.
Yep.
We didn't learn a lot of stuff. But in his opinion, scenario 4, which is just the PFAS treatment at Keating's, he said, which he totally opposes because the hardness would be through the roof.
Right.
But he says, no matter what we do with Keating's, you have to have a redundancy source to it. So, in his opinion, the Keating treatment plant only should have an interconnection with some other town as part of that cost.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, that did make sense, and it kind of, and I think we should add it. I mean, it's on this sheet we have now, it's a separate scenario, but I think that should be tied directly to it.
So scenario 4 should be tied, a lot of these involve something else that needs to happen, or knowing that you're not just gonna pick one and, you know, we're gonna need to do something else, we're gonna need a plan to move forward, because you're not just gonna treat Keating's well. And I agree with you, you're not gonna treat it without having a backup. We're gonna eventually do some sort of treatment at the other sources. This is what we're looking at right now, and then when we do one of these, we drop that scenario off and we're gonna have to add, because we're gonna still need to have redundant sources.
So-
Exactly.
So basically, you're saying scenario 4 or 5, which is Keating's only, whether it's with softening or not softening, almost must have scenario 7 with it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
which is 7 would be that intermunicipal
And
connection.
the unknown is what the O and M's gonna be, cause how much water are we gonna
Right,
buy?
at what rate, et cetera, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera.
Well,
And-
the goal, would not to be.
Not to buy
unless
any.
you're an emergency, but then you're heading back to Keating's with the hardness is going to be double what people are seeing now, and that's not,
Right.
that is not, to me, it's not okay,
I-
so.
Right, I simply don't still, it's just one board member sitting here saying that's even an option. I really don't even think it should be on the table because it's not something we're gonna do. It just, we
I
can't,
agree.
we can't. I didn't, you know, I mean, so,
So what does that do? Take Keating's out completely? Cause
No.
if you don't soften it, you're doubling the hardness.
I guess the only
which
way you
don't
can
wanna
do
with-
Keating's is, you know, if you mixed it, like we're doing now, is really, is, as far as the hardness
But
goes.
we're only mixing it at a certain point, because we can't mix it at the source, we don't have the capability to mix it at the source.
No, I know what you're saying, but like, so in general, Keating's runs at night, right? I mean, that's pretty much what we do. So,
We run most of our pumping is at night. We get a day where, you know, the high demands, like people
Understood.
turn the irrigations on now.
right,
So there are times that we'll just run that by itself.
correct. But I'm just making things up here. Let's just say we did have an intermunicipal list with towns. And so, on an average day, not in the middle of summer, we're just, you know, pumping this thing at night and filling up the tanks. Would that suffice enough of mixing going up in the tanks, and you still think that people like along Reservoir Road or whatever would have wicked hard water just because it's still in the pipe, you know,
Yes, Reservoir Road, they're at full hardness all the time,
yeah,
because Lancaster have never mixed.
never
it.
make.
So they're gonna see it worse.
Yeah, well, they're gonna see it,
The
it's
same,
not a
because-
change, it's
Right,
the
yeah,
same.
because as of right now, it's
Yeah.
getting pumped,
Right,
right, the odds of them using enough water to suck it out of the tank before that well kicks on is just, it's not really.
right, it's a 16-inch main.
Yeah,
It'd
it's,
probably
I,
take
yeah,
probably a
okay.
week for it to.
So what you're saying though is if you change that location and eliminated Lancaster and you're coming in from Townsend, if you did Townsend and Keating's, more of the town, not just Reservoir Road, is gonna be feeding off of
Yeah, true.
Keating's
but-
because
and-
you're,
And the intent of Townsend is not to never even use it.
yeah,
It's only,
yeah.
Keating's is down, we need to take it offline to do our
So
maintenance of it.
ultimately, yeah.
So that,
I'm just saying, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
How would you connect that up?
you'd have
To-
to go down Northfield Road, then West Townsend Road.
they got $13 million roughly to tie into.
Yeah, I was
towns.
looking at that,
That's like double what I thought it was gonna be.
I found that pretty high.
and by the time you get around to it, if you ever do, gonna be double that.
Where would you hook up the towns?
They actually don't have enough pressure to feed us right now. They're looking at expanding their system towards, it's at Pine Ridge, Pine Ridge area.
Okay.
And putting in a new storage tank that could feed Lunenburg. Because when I was on the board in Townsend, they had an area in Townsend that they couldn't feed themselves, so they were wondering if Lunenburg would feed into Townsend over on that West Townsend Road area. And I said, well, we'd have to talk to Lunenburg about stuff they
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
inside, so. But anyway, so they're looking to put a new storage tank in to raise their elevation in that area, put a booster pump in and to cover that area, so which in turn could have enough pressure to feed back to Lunenburg.
So, are you saying as of right now, like, this is not possible?
As of right now, it's not possible.
So we can't even do scenario 7.
Right.
Well, they're in the works of putting it in, so I think by the time all this happens, it will be an option at some point. And if it's not an option, then it could be the option to us that we'd have to pay to put it in the tank and to do it, so. Which I don't.
So should
support.
we get that across somewhere in this survey that this,
Is not an option.
well, no, not that these scenarios that we're presenting to you are just step one. This isn't, none of these options solve everything. What we're looking for is, how do you want us to start? Because I think people need to understand that, like, if you don't really read all this, you're gonna look at it and go, alright, what's the cheapest, cause that's what I'm gonna go for, and they think that's it. So I don't think anywhere in here did we really say, like, this is just step one, like,
Yeah, I mean, so like, I gotta be honest, it's like, I can't say it's confusing, but it is a little confusing.
It is.
I'm pretty well versed in this, and if you sent me this in the mail,
I
I'd
know.
be really kinda confused. So, I think, I think that, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of options out there on how to approach this, and I kinda agree with what you're saying, is like, at this point, when we send a survey out, it's just to get the feedback from the public of, you know, I don't think we need to have all the, this is dynamite, this is
Yeah.
rock solid what we're gonna do. We just need to see where we start heading on this and to appease the public of, you know, what they're gonna go along with. So like, this scenario 7, which I like, I mean, I think it's an option, but if it's not feasible right now, I'm nervous about even advertising it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You're saying they're gonna do it. They have money appropriated in plans and it's, to me, that's, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, we're gonna treat PFAS.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, right, yeah.
This all came when we did the tour of their plant.
Yes.
Where he told me, this is when he said, oh, we're looking to feed up in here, and
Right.
we get some water
Yep.
in Lunenburg.
I mean,
And,
You
yes,
got the
I'm not
money?
sure.
So that's the thing, so it's not, it would have to happen at an approximate cost, only if they did their project, and they're looking to do their project, but they really don't have the funding, or it's not plan ready, so scenario 7 doesn't exist.
well, plus scenario 7 wouldn't be like our first option. This
Right.
is what we're kinda talking about, is
No, the only-
what's our first option? Our first option
Yeah.
isn't to spend $13 million to tie into Townsend, because that's a backup. We,
Right.
you know, like, we need to focus on
Well-
where are we starting here,
hold on.
and then what's the
Now,
second step?
Playing devil's advocate here, what if it's not a backup? What if that's now our primary source of water?
And
I'm just saying, look at, these are the questions that the public's gonna bring up, being like, well, why can't we just spend $13 million?
I'm
Buy
not
all
a
of
big
our
fan
water.
of this scenario because of a lot of different things. One, it's not even plan ready. It's in somebody's mind as I would like to do. And the to be determined on annual O&M could exceed what we're talking about for Keating Street and Hardness. So why?
I understand, however, these, I'm telling you
Yeah.
what is gonna be
well,
brought
what
up.
happens when that one main feed, there's a brick, our entire town is down? No fire, no water,
I've
no
spoke to
nothing.
Townsend, I've talked to
Yeah.
the board, so the superintendent is the one was pushing this. So
Sure.
I brought it to the chairman of the board, I'm like, hey, is this something we can do, what are we talking about, money, can you support this? And how far can you support this, what is available to Lunenburg? You know,
Right.
you're gonna have a set, hey, this is your max day,
Yep.
I said, we need to know all that stuff, and he says, yeah, we've been talking about it, and, different members of the board have different rate ideas, some are
Sure.
more, cheaper, or get it to us, so, cause, they can make money, it's gonna be, something we have to have. So, he's like, well, they're looking at playing the game, hey, we can't just raise the price, because they're not gonna take it, they're gonna do another option. So, but anyway, they're still in the finagling, figuring out how much water do we have and what's their demand down the road. Because if we were selling water to somebody else, hey, so Shirley wants 200,000, let's say, and we say, okay, but we only have it. You can't go more than that because we're gonna need it for our future. So this is where, because who knows what's gonna happen in Townsend. So we had looked at this before we put the Keating well in. We looked at purchasing water from Fitchburg, Leominster, whoever we
Yeah.
could. And it was very simple math. This is the cost to put in the pipe in the building, and here's the cost you have to pay Fitchburg every year for a quarter of the amount of water that well could produce. And so you start looking at, hey, here's our payment of paying to Fitchburg, here's the loan payment. Well, the loan payment's way less than you're gonna pay Fitchburg. So it was a no-brainer. We're gonna put our own source in, 20 years is paid for, we're done, no more payments. So, and I think that's the same thing with Townsend. It's gonna be just, I hate to bash the sewer, but it's the same thing with the sewer. I mean, they have no control over what they're paying. Leominster or Fitchburg say, hey, we're doubling the rate, what are you gonna do? You're done. So now it could be the same thing, because, I mean, Townsend wants to do it now, so you might come across with a, you know, pretty decent price.
But
What's in
if-
10 years?
If it becomes our supply,
Alright, so,
Yeah, mercy.
once again, I'm just gonna be playing devil's advocate here. What if that was a like temporary solution for Lunenburg until, you know, we figured out how the public wants to deal with PFAS? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's an expensive
I
temporary.
personally agree with you. I don't really think that, but I'm just trying to say, like, I know the public's gonna ask these questions, so I'm just trying to get these things out here that, you know, is this, something we explore? That in the next 5 years, the feds change the rules on this, they move the goalposts, I don't know, I'm just, is it something we look into, or no?
Well, I mean, it's already in motion. I mean,
Yeah,
they're trying to figure out
We'll see.
pricing and
See what
you know,
happens.
what's available, so I mean, they know what, that,
it's not, there's too many unknowns to it.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a bad scenario, there's too many unknowns to it. But, you know.
I'm not for buying water from anybody.
Oh, I agree with you, John, because
You're gonna pay forever. Like Franny says, do what we gotta do, get the money, build this stuff, put it in, 20 years or 30 years, it's over with, not 100 years or 150 years.
just think, Bloomberg started buying water from Leominster.
That's
It
right.
was the old brick building.
the only water we had.
It cost a ton of money, that's why we started putting our own sources in, so we smartened up and did our own thing. I'm 100% for interconnections, because that was one of my big pushes for the connection with Lancaster. That was gonna tie in, because Shirley has that potential well, near the Horn Packaging, the
Mhm.
factory there.
yep,
And Lancaster has a short distance to connect to Leominster, so I mean, we could have interconnection with several municipalities.
Yeah.
Although Shirley couldn't feed Lunenburg, but with the assistance of Shirley and Leominster, we could, or if we need to feed Shirley or assist Leominster, which we have in the past. But it wasn't a case of, you know, hey, let's do this a full-time thing, it was just an emergency
Right.
thing, hey, they need help, let's help them, because you know we would, and you know they would help us too.
okay, I mean, I'm glad to see that's written up, but I think I don't think I wanna start putting it into all this, because it's too much of an unknown. I think, I agree that the focus here should be is how are we gonna treat our water? You know, I'm just like I said, I agree with all this, but I'm just trying to bring up questions that I think the public would ask. So, as far as that scenario 7, it's like, God, I hate as soon as we print something, they're like, oh, you can do this. Like,
I don't
you know,
think this, I think scenario 7 should go away, but I think the dollar amount should go to scenario 4.
Okay.
As a part of
Right,
redundancy.
Right,
Okay, so, yeah, I agree, we could never send this to.
no,
people.
oh my goodness.
So we have to, scenario 1 is not an option,
Yeah.
scenario 2 is not an option, scenario 3 is an option, which is the combination of Hickory and
Correct.
Lancaster. The Keating well scenario 4, to me, it is not an option, 5 is just insane money, and that's not an option. So pretty much to me, you have scenario 3 or scenario 6.
Okay, so, I got just, honest question here is,
You know, I think you got the right idea, Franny. It's just that every time we look at it, we figure out a way to talk ourselves out of it.
so, and let's be real here. What happens to the Keating's well?
Well, eventually, if not utilized, it'll be taken offline, become an inactive source.
you're saying if we don't treat it.
If we don't treat it.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, because the two ways of treating Keatings are both not appetizing, to me anyway, you know what I'm saying? One is pumping out hard water that's, I think, is not usable, and the other, and cleaning up is not financially possible, you know, so I'm just kinda, yeah, you know, I mean, right now, we can use that water because we can mix it with other waters and it mitigates a little bit of
It's
the noise
okay.
problem, you know, it's okay, you know, but.
So let's say down the road. we
And
do-
so down the road, now, I guess I could see if scenario 3 went into effect and we had a treatment plant here up and going, I could see in the future doing scenario 4, treating for PFAS, not hardness, and mixing it back in like we're doing today.
So we could actually kind of tie into what Mr. Empey was saying, we move the Keating treatment to Lancaster Ave, so maybe we do a dedicated main to Lancaster Ave
Yeah.
from Keating's.
Yeah,
And then either dilute it to the PFASs,
sure,
but now you're talking a large amount of Lancaster, which couldn't do it, but say large amount of Lancaster and Hickory Hills to offset the amount of PFAS
yeah,
in the Keating, so
A lot of hardness.
and which
Yeah.
would drop the PFAS and the hardness.
Yeah.
Nothing's easy.
no, so I mean, as far as what we're really talking about is
Yeah.
this survey. I think we should, I like the survey the way it sits, and I don't feel the need to introduce scenario 7. If you want to add that cost to scenario 4 and 5 of an intermunicipal connection, I agree, because the reality is that if we did do 4 or 5, we would then have to have some sort of redundancy, and the quickest and easiest, cheapest way to do that is the intermunicipal connection, correct?
Right, correct.
So, if you wanna add that number to that, be like plus intermunicipal connection, I would say that's a fair,
We should almost be adding that to everything.
well,
We should, it shouldn't even be a scenario, it should be a, you know, note, in order for redundancy and backup, we are going to have an intermunicipal connection that's going
if
to
we had
cost us
scenario 3,
roughly.
would we have enough, would scenario 3 satisfy our redundancy?
I think it would be determined by the design of the treatment plant.
Okay.
But let's look at the numbers now. So you got Keating's to treat for PFAS is $21 million. To do the interconnection with Townsend is $13 million. And that doesn't include any water. So $13 million, then you start buying water above that. So to me, I mean, it's kind of crazy. You look at $8 million is not really a big deal, but that's the difference between the interconnection with Townsend and the $8 million for Keating's. So to me, I would say, hey, we need redundancy. I would say let's skip the Townsend and let's treat the Keatings, Lancaster and Hickory Hills.
I agree. We
Which
gotta
one?
have, Hickory Hills has gotta be involved in this somehow.
Yeah,
That's
good luck.
the toughest part.
Yeah,
Good luck.
And then it comes down to it. The engineers, not me, the
No,
engineers, it's not really worth putting in $20 million treatment plant in Lancaster Ave for the limited amount of water available.
Right.
A consistent amount of water available.
mm,
So let's look at the big picture now, okay? We don't use Hickory Hills. What are we gonna do? We have to have something else. And where, how, so someone needs to, I mean, I don't know how to do it.
Alright,
They need to tell us how.
Okay.
They
So-
don't know.
So once again, we're have great ideas here, everybody, but the focus is this survey, right? I mean, this is what we're kind of working on right now, is what to do with the survey. These are all, we have done this ad nauseum for hours and hours and hours. I think the way the survey sits as written, as you hold in your hand,
Yeah.
is the survey that should go out. That's just what I think.
yeah, get a start on it somewhere, see what it comes back
I
as.
think it needs a little, I don't know, a little more,
Love on the,
it has benefits and concerns, it needs to be stated, everybody's gonna look at this and go, Keating's PFAS only.
Oh,
you know what I
listen.
mean?
So let's add the redundancy part.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, I think something needs to stand out to let people know, like, you can't just go for the cheap one, like, you need to understand that,
There's more to this.
yes, you might do this step 1, but it's a lot more for step 2. This will hold us over for now, and this is good. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be some way for people to know that we can do this, but there's a whole nother
Okay.
loan coming next. And not that we have to give them that second option, but they need to understand that this doesn't solve it.
Listen, with this survey here is simply to go out to the town and get feedback, okay? Of where people who care about their water, they want to fill this thing out, they're going to do that, and we're going to get this feedback.
Yeah.
If it comes back as overwhelmingly the cheapest one, that's when we're gonna have some sort of meeting with the public here being like, listen, I know this seemed to be the most popular, and give them the pros and cons on it, like, for real. And it may change the mind, but for right now, we've sat here at this board and come up with the best, what I believe was the best approach to this, and it fell flat on its face, okay? It just did, okay? So, let's put this out there, get the input from the public, and we can try to educate them on what we feel is the best option. But at the end of the day, we're not doing a thing unless 2/3 of the people
They have
vote
to
for the
vote on
thing.
it.
Yeah.
So, let's just start there, grasp what is out there. We, in the meantime, will still try to, I mean, I'm on board with this, but I don't, sometimes we put a lot of effort into it, and
Yeah.
we need the public.
Yeah.
So let's,
We can react to what their
we can react
responses
to
are.
what they say, and then
Okay.
maybe that'll help us steer our ship a little bit better.
Okay.
And we can, we're focusing on 7 scenarios and maybe things that doesn't exist right now. Maybe we just need to focus it down onto 3, where we know this isn't gonna have, public noise gonna, that's why we came up with this, so
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like just sending this out as is.
Gotta start somewhere.
It's not perfect, but I think it's darn good.
Yeah.
Send it out, let's get some feedback.
Well, I'm gonna send it to,
Yeah.
I know, Bobby Turkington had reached out, and I sent her this, and literally we just got this an hour ago, so I sent it to her, so I know she was reviewing, but I also have a Zoom with, Nicole tomorrow, so I'll
Okay.
send her this stuff, and maybe next meeting, if Nicole kinda tweaks anything, changes
Sure.
words, whatever, we'll come up with, if I hear back from, Bobby Turkington or anybody else, we'll tweak some things, and then next meeting we'll
Yeah.
maybe present a final draft.
Yeah, I would like to do that. Next
Okay.
meeting, try to get something
Yeah.
final that we can vote on and go.
Alright,
Does anybody have anything to add to that?
Just, nothing really 100% with this, but tied on the PFAS, a resident was in here today, complaining that, the federal government needs to assist in the funding of this, and I said that they were, I said the last loan with the SRF at principal forgiveness, that was their
Yeah,
contribution to it, so I said, that's kind of all run out now. There was Governor Healy just did, I think it was 200 million towards the PFAS, so that there is more money going to be available. I'm not sure if it's gonna be principal forgiveness, which would be the key thing for us. But, anyway, I just want to say, a resident was in here saying, how are we gonna do this?
right,
And I said, we agree.
Did you tell them we had $17 million in our pocket that we lost?
I didn't say. No.
Well, they didn't mention that, though.
all right, moving on. Commissioner, superintendents, treasurer, additions.
Let's see, well, on the PFAS side, we have new testing requirements for Lancaster Ave wells. Now we test wells 2 and 5, which run together, 1 and 4 run together. That isn't an all the time thing, but the majority of the time, that's how we do it. They came back with elevated levels of PFAS. DEP responded, so you immediately need to go take another set of samples. We did, haven't got the results back yet. But depending on the results, because we were so high, that we may have to go to monthly testing for all the sources.
$400 a test.
Yeah, jeez.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
And in no way do I think this is horrible. I mean,
Sure it is.
no way do I want to build, $40 million treatment plants.
We don't have any choice.
Nope. The old days when I first started working here, we didn't even do pH adjustment, we did no chlorine, we pumped water out of the ground straight. That was it.
Yeah,
That's how it started. So it's
Well,
changed a lot since
you
then.
don't
You
have
like
any
how the
choice.
wells are? Just delicious.
It was good.
Yeah.
That was good. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree, it's frustrating to sit here and kind of even go through all this, but the reality is a look around. Costs go up on everything, and, I mean, I wish this wasn't even a thing, but it is, and we'll make the best of it.
That's all we do. I mean, we'll have to change, if all this does take place, we'll have to change how we, billing structure and everything
Yeah.
like that, we'll go to monthly billing and, well, we can get it done. I mean, no one's gonna like it, but I mean, we can do it, we'll do our best to make it, you know, as.
Yep.
not
Affordable and efficient as possible.
Yeah, what else? Auto cars still at Zach's, something else was broken, the kingpins wore through something, so they had to get a couple extra parts, and they were on order, but it's coming. What else I got?
Next Wednesday.
Oh, we're gonna do the T-on, rolling.
Oh, yeah, that was one, yeah.
Getting prices on pipe and stuff.
Yep, pricing, I got sent for quotes on piping.
Are we still thinking of tackling it this fall?
I'd like to get on it pretty
Yeah.
quick. This year was kinda messed up. I mean, with the big main breaks we had, that kinda messed us all up on the flushing, so everything got delayed, pushed out. And, yeah, this was a tough year so far, so.
I noticed MDR was out there today cleaning up all, looks like the
Yep.
old silt fence and
Yep,
stuff.
I had to get permission from the state. I just got that the other day, sent it to MDR, so that they're wrapping that up today. We're gonna go, assist them on pulling the bags out of the catch basins.
Yep.
Cause they don't have a piece of machinery here, so we're gonna go on the back and just pick up the
Yep.
covers, so. So tomorrow they should be done.
You gonna use that tractor to tap that main and move it into the gate valve a little ways and stuff, or what are you gonna do? Or are you gonna keep going after you get this connection connected up?
No, you just
Just
put the-
getting
you
the
just
teeth.
put
Oh,
the
just the
teeth.
teeth for now. Yep, so the teeth for now, then
Just
we
to get
we
it
got
off
the
the
pipe,
road.
we'll get the pipe pretty quick.
Yep,
And then we're looking at renting a 30,000 pound excavator, which is about with the extra bucket, so we need 2 buckets, trench bucket and a cleanup bucket. And it was under 6,000 a
Yeah,
month, so
around five.
shouldn't be huge
Five.
money.
6,000 a month.
Yeah, just, it'll be under.
Yeah.
It's,
It was like 55.
Yeah.
Anywhere between 5 and 6.
Is that lease option to buy or just lease, I mean, or just rent?
rent for a month, based on weekly rental, yep. I tried to buy one, but we got 2 commissioners out, don't wanna buy one, so.
I thought these two guys were businessmen.
we are, good ones at that. I might say I say so myself.
Well, would you rather, let me put this to you then, would you rather spend $200,000 for engineering that you'll never see again and it'll probably be wrong? Or would you rather spend $140,000 for a machine that you'll own for
So-
less money?
Wow, Mr. Esposito, that is comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Well, the way I see it is, 160,000 is 160,000.
Well,
I don't care if
sometimes-
it's made of apples or made of oranges.
Okay, well, I mean, like, I don't ever wanna pay for engineering, but if it's required, you.
It isn't required.
Okay, then don't pay for the engineering.
It's required.
But that's what he
You
said.
have to have
required.
engineering.
We
We
need
have
we need
somebody-
a machine.
If we,
Instead of going out to bid and having a
Oh,
contractor do it and
yeah.
pay an engineer to
No, no.
design it and go out to bid.
Right.
Where we would buy the machine and just do the job
And
ourselves, but
don't
we
have
don't
to
even
pay
need
for,
an engineer.
for,
Okay, so
for
how does this happen?
prevailing
How does
wage.
this correlate to the $5,000 rental?
Well, it's 5,000 a month.
the idea
Oh, I know the
The
answer.
idea is that we do our own main replacement with our own machinery and own staff, so that we don't have to pay engineering and prevailing wage to get these jobs done. And I'm open to that at some point, but we, you
I
know,
am too. I think it's a great, I think Fran's plan, I saw how he wrote it down, how we're doing all this. I think it's a great idea. And I also think it's great that we're gonna spend $5,500 on an excavator for a month. I think that's a bargain, because the first time that thing breaks, it could be
Yeah.
$5,000 that we don't have to pay. So I am all for
Okay, the only thing I got is, rolling eighties, you got the 2 turns, I think we're pretty good around the 2 turns. After that, I think we're gonna have to start heading into the road a little bit. So that's my difficult thing, how are we cutting the road? I mean, we could just saw cut and pull it out, or we could rent a bobcat milling machine and
mill
mill.
it.
I mean, or do we buy equipment? I mean, so,
I think just saw cutting it
and
and
pulling.
pulling out is the easiest way to do things.
I mean, so we could actually rent a walk behind
Yeah.
cutter.
Yes.
Instead of our little.
Yeah,
you
oh,
can-
yeah.
That would be
You-
worth
you-
investing in.
You
the
get a
amount
big
of
enough
asphalt
cat
that we
machine
cut.
out there.
I gotta
The
tell
walk
you this,
behind
I
ones?
would, so the town bought a, sorry, did I interrupt?
No,
you?
I
Did I interrupt you, John? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
The town a while ago bought, I believe, a 16-inch road saw, 16, maybe it was a touch bigger.
Yeah.
And they told me what they paid for it, and it was very reasonable. I was like, oh, like, it wasn't bad, and I would be
It's the
able,
walk behind.
the walk
one that you-
behind, you know,
Yeah,
I mean, the
Yeah.
push walk behind, but it
Yeah.
was large, and it, you know, it could, some
Yeah,
of the
they're
asphalt
not
was
very expensive.
they're not,
Yeah.
you know, I
You
mean,
can buy
it was
some
like
pretty nice ones.
$3,500 or something like
Yeah.
that, and I was like, oh. So, if that made this job easier, I'd be all about, yeah,
But-
because you're gonna use it more than once.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I
we
mean, I think it
definitely-
would make a lot of their
Yeah.
jobs
Because
easier.
we've rented them in the past.
Yeah.
But I mean, so if we buy one, it'll probably be a good.
Yeah, I would definitely,
Okay.
but I, if I was digging up the road, I'd rather saw cut that, pull the asphalt, get, you know, roll that over to Keating's, do your work. Before you pave, you may have to put another saw cut line if you beat that edge up a
Sure
little
thing.
bit, but, you know,
Yep, no big deal.
I think that's just the easiest
Okay.
way to do
Do we have enough staff for that project?
That'll be tough. I have Jeff coming in. Jeff's all back. He's ready to work.
Oh, okay, good.
So I have Jeff. Downside is Ryan is doing his CDL classes for the next 5 weeks, so he's gone for the
From eight
mornings.
till one.
So
it. Good for him
yeah. And what time does the class start?
8.
8. So maybe we can sneak him to do the wells on the way
Oh,
to his
yeah.
class.
And then
we
everybody
don't
else
have to-
goes
we can
straight
just go
there, yeah.
to Rolling Acres.
Yeah.
Did you give any thought to a pie cutter?
A what?
A pie cutter. It cuts hot top, put it on the bucket.
Yeah, every time I've tried one, borrowed one, it doesn't
Doesn't
really get
work.
on the work too good.
No, you gotta have, the hot mix has gotta be fairly warm, but it all depends where you're using it, you know?
So, the goal is to not go in the road. When we get down near Meadow Lane, there's a lot of cement, stone walls, and I
Yeah.
really don't wanna have Mark have to go fix it. But I think it's gonna be good. This'll be good, you know? We've been doing pretty good on, replacing the bad veins. We got Mass Ave done.
Yep.
Both,
Both
down near
ends.
Mackey's and then down the other side, near Parkway. What else we got?
Next
Yeah.
Whalen Road, so we're getting a
Yeah.
lot of the bad mains done.
Yeah.
If we can get Rolling Acres, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Next problem spot is Pleasant Street. Pleasant Street would be tough, because we got the brook, which would be a directional drill, so
Yeah.
we can sneak through that one pretty easy too.
Cool.
It's all good.
You anything, Mr.
I
Esposito?
got nothing.
I cut you off too much, so.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Well, hold on, can we do public comment?
Oh, wow, you
Okay.
asked me.
We don't have public comment?
No, public comment. Well, it's next on the list. But now I'll take it. You don't have anything, do you?
I'm good.
No.
Motion to adjourn,
So moved, so.
what do you think?
Well, that phone,
Yeah, look at, you got
Yeah.
15 minutes to get home.